Hey guys, Dr. James Jernigan with Cornerstone Chiropractic. This is Liz Kahn with You Be Well. And what we do is we do consistent videos on little action steps that you can do that you can start to make changes in your life. That over this year you can be in a drastically different place by just continually doing just small little changes.
Yeah.
Now, not every action step is going to resonate with you, and that's totally fine. But when you start to find out these little things, maybe in 2 weeks, that action step's going to be good for you, right?
Yeah, or find the ones that do work for you and start to apply them every day.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've talked about tracking and all sorts of other things, but here's the funny thing about learning to apply things every day. When you start to do it and you start to feel pretty good about it, then you go, hey, I don't need to do this anymore. It's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trap. If what you're doing is working, don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop your nutrition plan when you lose the 10 pounds.
Right.
Right? And so what we want to talk about is when life happens, whether it's even you just wake up in the morning and it's just a tougher day.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I slept and I slept wrong and my neck was just really bad. I couldn't turn my head to the left at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that moment, it was almost like, I don't know why, because it could send me into how am I going to adjust to my patients today when I'm not feeling good, or all these things. But
Right.
it was pretty cool. Like, we'll talk about it, but when you start applying these things and you start to have an action plan, no matter whether your day is going well from the moment you wake up,
Right.
or if it's a struggle, you still have these things that you consistently can do to ensure that you're going to have a good day.
Or at least a better day than it might have been otherwise. I mean, I talk to my clients about this all the time. Yeah, even when you're using your tools, you might wake up and not feel fantastic.
Absolutely.
But imagine if you weren't using those tools, what this day would have been. Or remember what it was like before you had these tools. And I try to remind myself all the time, like when I start getting frustrated, I'm not throwing things. I'm doing well. And life isn't supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
But it's also not supposed to break us.
Absolutely. And I think one of the biggest components is that you have to realize that you're not a victim.
Ooh.
Because we have these tools that we can actively do.
Right.
So if we're having a good day from the very beginning, or like you feel good, then it's going to be a good day. Or
Right.
if you feel bad, then it's going to be a bad day. It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way. I read a book once. It's a phenomenal book. It's called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night. And it's about this child with autism
Mm-hmm.
who is kind of experiencing the world. And, it brings this notion that, like, if he sees 3 white cars parked on the side of the road in a row, then that means it's going to be a good day.
Mm.
And, when we think about that and we think about this kind of rigid sort of thinking, that alone can really mess with us.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back into our beliefs.
Absolutely.
But truly, if we can shift our beliefs to say, in this moment, I know that I don't feel my best. This is what I'm going to do to increase the positivity of how I feel.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do to take that intentional step
Mm-hmm.
to rise up a little bit.
Yes.
So-
I love that. You love rise.
I do.
Rise
I like
above.
to thrive
Yeah.
through, to
Yes.
rise above.
You know
because
that Cornerstone Chiropractic was actually going to be Thrive Chiropractic.
I had no
In the
idea.
original, it was going to be Thrive because I truly believe that each and every one of you is designed to thrive.
Right.
And what you were just talking about with the 3 white cars being a good day
Mm-hmm.
versus the other approach, which was you were actively, you're seeing it for where it is,
Mhm.
and then being able to rise above it. Was there's two different people that were in control. The one was external,
Uh-huh.
was in control, and that was like, if the universe lines up, then it's going to be a good day. The other one was you're taking ownership of it,
I'm going to make a choice.
and you get to make the choice.
I'm going to make that choice.
Mhm.
And it's really cool because I know how to make that choice.
Right.
And we talk about it a lot. There are people who are, we believe, I think we talked about it a little yesterday. If the thoughts come to my head, they must be true and they must be right.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. That's not always the
Write
case.
down this quote. You don't have to believe everything that you think.
I love
Right?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's great. And and when you start to hear those things and go, wow, that makes me feel like I don't want to get out of bed this morning.
Yeah.
That is when the hard work comes in, where you get to say, no, not today, boys.
Mhm.
Today I get to make the choice. Today I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to go and make breakfast for my family. And I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take every little step. Mel Robbins has a great thing. If you haven't heard of her yet, you should Google her TED Talks.
Yeah.
Mel Robbins, she does this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Get up.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself the 5 seconds to wallow. 5 seconds. And say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm up.
Yes. And start moving.
Start moving.
Even if you don't feel like it, you just got to start moving after that. Yeah.
And then you got to see what happens. Because when you start making the choices in your day instead of letting that internal dialogue take you, like you woke up not feeling well this morning.
Yep.
What were some of the thoughts you were having?
Well, I was obviously going at a slower pace.
Right.
I did extra stretches. The thought is like, if I can't even look to the left, how am I going to be able to take care of a patient? But it was pretty cool because just like last week when we talked about the spill in the office, right? It only lasted a couple seconds because I am so determined to choose where my focus is.
Right.
We say where focus goes, energy flows. Right. Where you put your focus, I knew that it was probably going to be a battle for about 10, 15 minutes of my mindset.
Right.
But after that, then, you come into this.
We love this space.
I
know, it's hard not to feel
good
in
here. With a whole
here.
new perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and truly, the moment that you said, all right, but I'm going to get up and go,
Mm-hmm.
you made the choice.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us have jobs that we dread, right? I know I used to have jobs that I dreaded, and I would wake up in the morning. When I was younger, I got my first ulcers when I was 19. Because I dreaded waking up in the morning and going to work. So this kind of dread and allowing yourself to wallow in it, which I absolutely did because I did not have tools to help me rise above it, it causes really toxic environments inside your body, which will, hey, you won't have to get up and go to work because you're going to have to go to the hospital. At least that was my experience, right?
I mean, your thoughts are going to
well, they trigger things in your brain.
They do, and then the chemistry, so your thoughts lead to the chemical changes in your body, which reinforce that. It's literally, there's so many different...
There's so many spirals.
So many spirals, and...
We can avoid those spirals. Mm-hmm. And we're here to teach you or give you a couple of steps, whatever you can take, so that you don't have to get sucked into the spiral.
Yeah. And I think a good action step for today is because I feel like everything always just comes back to the questions because of how powerful it can change your perspective, change your focus. Mm-hmm. But what I want to say for your action step today is who's in control over your emotional state? Is it the outside world or do you get to determine who is the person that's in control? Because if you can start to be aware of this, then we can start to give you different other action steps of, in that moment, how can you either pre-decide what you're going to do or catch it before it
We want to get ahead of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Behaviorally speaking, we always, it's so much harder to crawl out of a pit than to avoid falling into it in the first place.
I mean, that's what we talk about with health, too.
Right.
It's like if you can start to invest in your health before you get sick, that's way easier. The preventative method is obviously the best method.
And you bring that up because all the stuff that we put into our body, whether it's our foods, whether it's our thoughts, whether it's the toxic chemicals that we have no control over or the ones that we do, they all help to create the environment of either ease or dis-ease, right?
Absolutely.
And so, be the one who takes control. Be the one who makes the decision. It could save your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can certainly change your life.
The weight of that right there, what you just said, is like it can absolutely change your life, save your life, and transform your future. And so today, maybe it can just be you have on your phone you have a note open, and every time you catch yourself with giving somebody else the ownership over your control or in your life,
the decision.
Then just put a tally. Just awareness of it. Like, was it 17 times today that you caught yourself
letting external environment dictate?
Letting a coworker or letting, whatever it is. And so start catching yourself, because once you can start catching it, then we can start making changes.
Meaningful changes.
Yep, absolutely. Perfect. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.